Hi Aishwarya, hi Markas. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi.
And being willing to speak about this year and reflect on some of the things that we've done. What we've been doing with other people is also we've just been looking at sort of three aspects of this year that's gone by and talking about it, little, sharing about what it's been like for us personally and as a team, and how that has sort of impacted us. So I think to start with, we could start with sharing what it's like been working online. I know, Ashwarya, this has been a new place of work for you. You've joined mid pandemic when everything has already been online. So you've not gotten to meet any of us personally, and it's all virtual. So yeah, it must have been something very, very different and unexpected for you. Uh, so yeah, we could start with probably you, and you could share about what that's been like, and then Marcus, you could go on to share about what it's been like doing finance and office management without a physical space to manage. So yeah, Aishwarya, over to you. You can.
Thanks, Deb. So yes, completely like what you said. I mean, it would. I'd never thought that I'd maybe start off with my first job like this. That I will not even meet a single person from the team right to being interviewed. And I mean, I'm entering the fourth month of this journey now, and I still haven't met a single person on team. And I've been working with everyone, but so I mean, the team has been so wonderful as well. That everybody's been so supportive. That even if I haven't met any of you, we still have that connect, and I can easily reach out to anybody. So that's wonderful, and I think that is what has really helped me and kept me motivated to go on. And if I talk about challenges, yes, I'm being a student of social work. I have always been, oriented in a manner that we about interpersonal connections, like we constantly keep talking about, and meeting people and being with them. And that is how we have been trained to work, because we've always been physically present whenever a person has ever reached out to us or needed us at any point of time. And that is completely absent. I'm just speaking to people over phone and talking to them, addressing their problems, concerns, and queries as much as I can on the phone. And sometimes, of course, I mean, you have to constantly, one challenge is definitely that you have to constantly reassure the families and the children that yes, we are here for you, because even they haven't seen us in person and they're not very sure about us as well. Explaining our role to them again and again, and reaffirming that don't worry, we are here, we're not going anywhere. So that's definitely a challenge. And we're support persons for children for sure, as the act entails, the roles and responsibilities are designated to us. But I think our work is also being working with the families, because they also have their own issues now, as most of the parents have lost their jobs, they're unable to feed themselves and their children. So there's like an added burden on them. And then with the incident, the cases that they have now, running to courts and going to police stations and all of that, to the CWCs again and again. So they're completely pressurized and burdened, and they also want to share their burden with us. So I think that has also been another challenge, and working with them on the phone constantly and reassuring that no worries, we are here, and helping them as much as possible. So that has been definitely a challenge.
Yeah, so this is a really new phase for I think most of us. Like an initial stage when and the lockdown happened, I was quite happy that I thought that I got a holidays kind of things, and but as the days progress, so I realized that that's not much different that working from home and working from office. The excitement that the going to office, the only benefit that we're getting working from home is that we're saving a lot of time, like instead of the traveling, going to office and coming back. And the good things is like that being with the family most of the time. And since my wife is expecting, so that's a kind of huge blessing for me to be with her during this time. And and but in the work wise, yeah, definitely, like sometimes internet issue. And then if I want to take some printout or want to work without having any disturbance, so that challenges that we face. But yeah, later on that we sorted out, and then ha- having a good internet connection, and then working fine. As like I feel like wow, that's can be also done, like instead of going to office, like work from home is also like one good option. uh, yeah.
Thanks for sharing, both of you. Yeah, it's been quite a, like Marcus said. Initially, I think when we shut office, it was a very we didn't think we were not coming back for such a long time. We had decided to shut a little before the lockdown was actually declared, and so it was more like, "Acha, theek hai, let's work from home for this week, and next week maybe the situation will be under control and we can come back to office." And then it was fully locked down. So yeah, I think it was very sudden for all of us, and such a different adjusting issue. And like Marcus said, most of us live far away from office, so all of us were spending a lot of time traveling to office, and that seemed like it's the benefit for us to sort of working from home. We save all of that time, so yeah, that's been good. And I think yeah, it's really interesting to see how, Aishwarya, you have shared about the learnings that we learn theoretically and slightly a little bit of practical in our studies, and we look forward to sort of joining a place and implementing those things. And what we've studied, I don't think any of us have studied has prepared us to be in such a situation, but it's been so much of learning to see all of your work in the field also, and how you'll have molded your own learnings and your own understanding of the work to fit into and provide the best support that you can to the families and to the children. And I think I never thought this would happen, but I think online working has increased the workload, not decreased it. I always thought like working from home we'll be doing lesser work, but we have done so much work this year, and such amazing work also all of you have done. So yeah, thank you for pitching in, coming in with that young spirit, and just bringing new life to the work. Talking about the work and like things that you've done in the last few months, is there anything that anything that sort of stood out to you that really impacted you, especially for you, like this would have been your first sort of interaction with POXO cases, with children in such situations, and anything that has stood out to you that has really like stayed with you from the last few months of working?
Yes, definitely. This is my first experience of working with the POXO cases, like you said. And I think what I have been really surprised, I'm amazed, and I think that will personally be a learning for me. Like we often talk about in our meetings as well, the kind of resilience that children show, even after the incident that they've been through, the kind of trauma that they're going through, but still coming out fine. And just speaking to them sometimes make you feel so good about your own self that, okay, I have so many better things in life. And I mean, I can always be happy about and grateful about that when these children can be. And still having that kind of smile on their faces, or the kind of jolly voice that they speak, and hopefully when they're so excited to talk to us. So it's wonderful to see that for sure. And I think one thing that has, I think most of us, when we've been working, because of this has been definitely a very traumatic time for everyone in this pandemic, because there's so many other things and so many mental health issues have been talked about, where even I have got such crisis and distress calls where maybe somebody said that they are thinking of harming themselves or trying to end their lives. So that definitely is one thing. And I mean, the first time I did that was really severe, and it impacted me so much, because that girl was like, she was completely shattered. She was just broken, and she said that I can't think of anything else. So I just kept on checking in with her in the day, in the evening, then late in the night also. And I just said that, okay, I'll be calling you tomorrow morning as well, just to make sure that, okay, I'll speak to her. I'm here, just don't worry, we'll see, we'll figure out something. So I think those kinds of calls are definitely heavy, but you also learn with that. And yeah, she's fine. And some good things, I think, because I've had an opportunity to be on the field thrice. I've been on visits, and I've been to the CWC also, so I had the opportunity of going on the field too. And I was able to help with one of the cases that I have. He's a small child, and he had a problem, because he might have been removed from school because his parents were unable to pay the fee. So we reached out to the CWC and intervened in the matter and made sure the child remained in school, because that would have been a very harsh blow for that little child. And because already going through the trauma that he was, and then being removed from the school that he's going through, that would have been very harsh for him. And even his family. So I think we did a good job there, as we were able to step in and help at the right time. So I think these would be good experiences that I'm going to look back at. Marcus, would you like to share?
Thank you. So for me, it's like a huge thing, though I'm not directly involved like you guys that you are doing and handling the things, but I'm in touch with you all. And when I heard from you that how you heard from the person, and when you go for a counseling, when you just check that how the person is doing both the side, and means I can't imagine that the emotional things that you been going through all these areas, and still like you are also like in the gender wise the female side, and hearing from a one female that who has gone through tough time and realizing your own, and still standing next to that person and guiding and counseling, that's like a huge impact for me. And like I'm privileged and thankful to God that I'm having opportunity to work with you guys, and somehow somewhere if I'm able to support and be there to give you all the emotional and other external support, so I'm ready to give. So I'm really happy, and like especially during the morning meeting times when you guys share the things, and that's like make me think that how the world is going, and the huge world, and we're a small organization working and uh, try to put the impact to being human, uh, and try to restore the people who has gone through a lot of difficulties, and give them a hope to see that there's a lot of life that the person need to go through, like there's another life that person can come up from their difficult time or difficult phase of time. So that's the thing that day by day I get encouraged by your work only, and that's helped me to work my work faithfully, to keep everything that whenever anything needed, so that I can able to provide all these things. Yeah, that's
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing, Marcus. That's really encouraging. And yeah, I've been in that boat this year, And I was sharing the other day when I was talking with Aarti and Urvashi also, how this year has been stepping back from the work. This year has given me this perspective of just listening to all that you all do and absorbing all of that, uh, and how much I think that as a social worker that has meant a lot to me, to be able to sit back and to listen to everything that is happening and just process all of that. Um, and hearing now from Marcus about how the work impacts him, that is so encouraging, because it really, I mean, for someone who is not directly doing the work but is still there to support us with all the logistics of everything that we do, that is really encouraging to know that, okay, the stories our children share, or their families share, makes an impact on everyone around us, not just those of us who are going into the field. So that's really nice. Coming to sort of the end of this, and also since we're almost to the end of the year, I was thinking we could also talk a little bit about the next year, something that has given us hope this year, that has encouraged us to continue this work that we do next year also. So if you could probably talk about something that from this year that has really like given hope to you. Yeah, Aishwarya.
Thanks. Well, one thing in fact, two things I'm really looking forward to. One is definitely meeting the children I have been working with, because when I speak to them, they also say that, we really like to meet you as soon as possible, whenever the situation is. And because I've been telling them that had the situation been normal, I would have definitely visited them for sure. But as a precautionary measure, also, we have not been meeting them. So one is definitely that I'm really looking forward to meeting them. And second is, of course, meeting the team I have been working with and I've been speaking to every day. I'm really, really looking forward to meeting all of you and working with you in the office. So that is there for sure. And what makes me hopeful is, yes, the cases that I'm working on, each of them has their own story. and we have been able to help them partially. And as we know that courts were not functioning, so each of their testimonies are due, and now we will be moving ahead with that as soon as the courts start functioning. So now that final phase is going to come at the most important stage that we work at, which we are here for. So we are going to do that. And I think one thing that will definitely help is because we've had enough time with the children and the family, speaking them has built a kind of trust and a good rapport with them. So now I would really look forward to how that rapport really, is a concluding effort, I would say, when we move ahead with preparing children for the testimony processes. So I think that's going to be helpful, maybe, and I'm looking forward to that for sure. Marcus?
Thanks. So for me, considering this pandemic and other areas, so I was listening some old story in the context of history. Like, this is not first time that we are facing. People has gone through a lot of difficulties. Like during Second World War. That's a year, the phase the life calls a year of depression. So people has gone through. So that's the things, and how that we come up from that time frame to this far, and that's give us a hope that definitely there will be a light, there will be a coming out. So that's the one hope, considering the pandemic and all these things. And the likewise, that our management is doing much greater, as considering, like we heard from a lot of friend and family, they're losing their job, and in our management they're doing really well, and like the project wise, the work wise, everything, we're like going and keeping all the things up to the mark. And that's give us a hope that during this difficulty, during this pandemic, we would be able to sustain ourselves. So that's the hope, and the confidence that we all get, that we all have the ability to do the work wherever we are. So that is the hope that every human being should have. Means we can handle it, I can handle it. So that's the hope, that that management support and the colleague support, and also like God's help. So can't deny to say God's so God's help, that we all are doing well. So that's the hope, and definitely that it's a new learning, that working from home. So definitely there will be a good desire to meet, have a office physical setup and all these things. But I'm also okay with working from home, because that's also kind of new learning, that we can do either way, like a work from home, work from office. So I'm hopeful and okay with both the areas. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, both of you, for sharing. It's nice to add everyone's hope to my own list of things that have given me hope this year. It's really nice to see that there's so many things that bring us hope amidst all of this that we're going through. So thank you once again, both of you, for joining me and for sharing about your year and the struggles and hardships, but also things that got us hope. So thank you once again. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.